Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on a Sunday afternoon. Well, I've got several things to cover here. And right before I got on to record this video, I saw where there is metal fencing that is going to go up again around the United States Capitol. Now, this is ahead of Biden's State of the Union speech. I believe that's coming up on the 6th, I believe. And they're also bracing for a possible American freedom convoy. Also, speaking of fencing, I did see also where metal fencing is going up around the Parliament building in Ottawa, Canada. So that whole thing's not over for sure. I think it's just getting cranked up. So a lot of fencing going up around government buildings in North America. So, I mean, what does that say about your government when you have to put extra fencing and walls around your capitals, your government buildings, to protect you from citizens? I mean, really, it's a fair question. I mean, you need protection from your own citizens. And a good number of them, too, not just a little fringe group, you know. So I had to mention that. I noticed that here today on the news. Also, wars and rumors of wars. Have you ever noticed a time or remembered a time when there were so many rumors of wars and all the speculation swirling around what's going on in Europe? I mean, the Bible talks about this a good bit. More on that in a few minutes. Has the Russian bear been poked one too many times? I guess we'll see pretty soon here. I mean, I also can't remember a time when I've had so much distrust for what the government in the United States has to say about all of it. I don't know what to believe. I mean, I don't trust Putin for sure. I've mentioned that before. He's ex-KGB. I mean, I just don't trust him either, but I also don't trust what we're saying. I mean, Glenn Beck had a video about this a couple days ago or so, and I agree. He said kind of the same thing, but I just can't remember a time. I mean, there was a time when I pretty much trusted what came out of the White House, whether it was a Republican or a Democrat, believe it or not. I mean, but for the last several presidents, no, I don't. I don't believe them. I don't trust them. I have zero trust in Putin. I have zero trust in our government right now. I mean, I can remember back when Reagan and some back in those days, it was like the gospel. I mean, he came out and called the Soviet Union the evil empire, and we believed it. I mean, sure. I mean, even the Bushes, when the Bushes were in office, I pretty much took that too. I pretty much believed that. But just stepping back from my American bias, I mean, really think about it, I don't trust it. I've been reading a lot of sources as far as this Russian-Ukraine thing. I've been reading a lot. I'm doing a lot of research. I don't just follow the American mainstream media. I do look at a lot of international sources, and I watch videos. I read a lot from experts and such. And so reading all that as far as the speculation of if they're going to invade, when, and all that, the bottom line is we just really don't know, do we? I mean, I think the only one that really knows that is Mr. Putin. And I think he kind of likes that, I have a feeling he likes that. So that's my dog you hear. That's Miss Ella down there. So bear with me. But if you pull back from this situation and try to look at it from a high level, I mean, this is just my analysis, is that, Russia wants Ukraine under their influence again. Putin wants Ukraine, and it's the breadbasket, one of the breadbaskets of the world. And it's got a lot of natural resources. It's a buffer between Russia and NATO. So he looks at the encroachment of NATO as a threat to him. I kind of get that, actually. On the other hand, the United States still wants to hold on to world power. I mean, since World War II, the United States has been the dominant player, controlled every ocean and every sea. The economies, I mean, has had pretty much the strongest economy. It's been the strongest superpower. So don't want to hold on to that. And that is being challenged right now, especially by Russia and China. So that's kind of what I believe that's kind of what you have here. And the United States, Biden doesn't want to give in any kind of concessions, to this and look like they're afraid of the guy. So, so you've got Russia, China's been kind of quiet lately. Of course, they've been having the Olympics and all that. But you've got a kind of a cooperation going on between China and Russia. So Red Storm Rising right there. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the old Tom Clancy book from the 80s, if you've ever read that. Red Storm Rising. It was a really good book, by the way. But I've been saying for weeks right now that if they go ahead and invade, they'll most likely they would wait till after the Olympics. Ending of the Olympics is today. So I think we'll know pretty soon whether or not it's going to happen. If they wait too much further we're going into spring here, that snowpack starts to melt. And so that would cause their mechanized, their tanks and all that equipment and mechanized vehicles, it would be at risk of getting stuck in the mud and stuff like that. They don't want to run into that. So I think we'll know here pretty soon. The Olympics end this evening and probably the next week or two, if not sooner, if it's going to happen. We don't know. So again, China is quiet. They're watching this closely, I'm sure. Can you imagine? And so I believe if Russia were to go ahead and go in, I think China could take advantage of that. And of course, take Taiwan. Regardless of what happens, though, I think what we need to keep in mind is regardless of what happens, we don't need to stress out and panic over this. Go about your life. Don't be, just overly stressed and consumed by this. Okay, you have to live your life. You have to live, but keep preparing. Keep preparing either way. So if this were to happen, if say they go in full on invade, then we start. The United States starts putting all these sanctions, these heavy sanctions, like they're saying they're going to do. Then Russia could retaliate from that with at the very least, cyber attacks. So that's the big thing that I'm thinking about. We need to prepare for, especially financially, communications wise, such as that. So share your thoughts, of course. But in the meantime, live your life, pray, keep stacking, keep preparing, keep topping off the preps. Okay. Verses today, I'm reading from a section of Matthew 24. And this is when Jesus was with his disciples at the Mount of Olives. And I will start Matthew 24, starting at verse 3. I'll go through about 8 here. So it says, as Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these things are the beginning of birth pains. Amen. A lot of deception going on out there. A lot of deceived. Whew. Share your thoughts on that, but I thought that was kind of a good one to think about, especially considering current events right now. So in the meantime, keep stacking, keep praying. Like I said, take care. God bless you. See you soon.